Hi there, I'm Namisha Patel Owen, and you're listening to Live Your True Self, episode number 80. After 18 years doing corporate, in 2018, it became about doing me, doing what I love. Not that long ago, I too felt a deep desire to be something more, asking myself, who am I anyway, and what's my purpose? Full of self-doubt and fear of failure, fast forward to this moment and you'll see a version of me that's true to myself, calm, confident, and clearer than ever before, despite the drama. Inspired by Krishna's words in the Bhagavad Gita, one must deliver himself with the help of the mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So perspective is everything. No matter where you are on your personal growth journey as a high achiever, I'm here to guide you. Together, we'll step out of your head, the busyness in your mind, and drop into your heart, the space where lasting transformation begins, so that you too can awaken your true self and live life more meaningfully in this moment, even in the messiness. Take a deep breath and listen on in. Hi there, my lovely. I'm super grateful for you being here today. I hope you're well and in good spirits. And much like the last few weeks, if you're not, that's okay. We get to be with what is. Just know that I'm sending you so much love. Before we dive in, let me say that it's truly an honour to guide you on your journey of self-discovery, connection, awareness, and growth inside out. If you're tuning in right now, please know how grateful I am for you. And if you haven't already, it would mean so much if you could take just a couple of minutes to rate and review this podcast, whether you're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or Google, or wherever you are listening. Not only does it truly, truly warm my heart, but it also helps others who need this message to find it too. So I thank you in advance. I appreciate you. Today, we're diving into a topic that we all face and that comes up a lot in coaching when I'm coaching my clients, and that is decision making. But not the exhausting, overthinking kind and the one that keeps you spinning. I want to share how to make decisions from a place of alignment and clarity and trusting your wisdom within, because we all have it. And we all make decisions all day, every day, from the small day-to-day choices like what time we get up, what to wear, what to eat, when to eat, what to focus on. All the decisions from the day-to-day stuff to the big life-changing ones that shape our being and our future and what we're all about. And the truth is, we are gifted with free will, the freedom to make choices. And the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47, powerfully reminds us that you have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. And never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to inaction. And there is a fair bit in here, but in relation to decision making and what we're talking about, this verse teaches us that while we have the power and free will to make decisions and take action, we can't always control the outcome. And instead of getting stuck in fear or doubt ahead of the thing, we can focus on making choices from a place of alignment and integrity and our own inner knowing and what's right for us, what feels right for us, trusting that the right path will unfold as it should for us. And it's a really lovely reminder to make decisions intentionally and take action, and then simply let go of attachment to the results. And so we're all decision makers, but are we conscious decision makers? Are we tuning into the wisdom within, especially when it matters most? Do you find yourself stuck in indecision? And believe me, I know it. Procrastinating, overanalysing, running through all the what ifs in your head that only keep you feeling even more stuck. And so often we let our ego lead the way. And that's the, I should or I shouldn't thoughts that come from fear and pressure or external or even internal expectations. But when we tune into our heart and intuition, decision making becomes simpler and clearer and more purposeful. So before we even get into the process that I want to share with you to help you make decisions from the wisdom within, one important thing to note is that our environment matters. To truly hear your heart, you need to be in a space that's open and quiet and free from distractions, a space where you can go within. And it doesn't have to be luxurious and it doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be a moment where if you are contemplating and making a decision, particularly, as I say, important life-changing decisions, one that matters, then give yourself space in order to make the decision from a place of allowing yourself to go with it. Because the heart speaks in whispers from a place of love. The mind, it's loud, logical, and often driven by fear. And it's preempting what will go wrong. And yeah, that may well be some factors you want to consider, but you don't want to be making a decision from a place of fear. You want to be making the decision from a place of love. And the way to access that is from your heart. And that's why it's so important to intentionally tune into your heart space, because that's where our deepest wisdom resides. Something I did not know when I was contemplating leaving corporate career after 18 years back in 2018. But unknowingly, I managed to access my heart by actually going with my gut instinct. And I very much tuned into, the gut instinct and my intuition, even though my brain was very loud telling me all the reasons why I can't, won't, and shouldn't. But I'm sure the gut instinct piece is something that you can relate to. So let me just quickly share a story. I was recently coaching a client who was contemplating also a big career decision, and she had an incredible opportunity that was presented to her, but she felt torn. Should she take it or stay where she was? And in the conversation that we had, she was sharing with me that her mind was filled with all the shoulds. I should stay because it's secure. I should take the new role because it looks good on paper. I should be grateful for what I already have. I should know what to do. I should be further ahead in this process. And when we created space for her to pause and to, access and listen to her heart space, a different answer started to emerge. And I guided her through a simple process. We wrote down all the reasons for and against each option, right? Either staying or staying where she was, or taking the option or taking the role. Writing down all the reasons for and against each option, and then stepping away and giving it time to settle, sleeping on it. And when she came back to it, she noticed something powerful. One option, when she looked back at those reasons, felt expansive. Even though it was a bit scary and a bit uncertain and unknown, it sparked energy in her body. And that was the answer. And once she made the decision, she committed to loving her reasons for choosing it. No second guessing, no looking back, no matter what doubts creep in, she reminded herself why she made the decision. And this is something I kept on asking her, so that it was in the forefront of her mind, which was constantly just coming back to all the reasons why she made the decision, and then just loving all those reasons, constantly redirecting her mind when it went into doubt mode. Because here's the thing, you always have the power to decide, and if needed, we can redecide. And free will means that we're never stuck. Remember what I said earlier from the Bhagavad Gita, right? We are gifted with free will, the freedom to make choices. And so free will means that we're never stuck. We can always go with our gut, and we can always redecide. Another quick story I'll share that's just come to me right now is I'm facing a decision of my own. And it's a bit lighthearted, one that might seem a bit small, but actually it's quite personal to me and will change things for me significantly in the year to come. Over the last 12 years or so, it must be, I've worked out from home. Steve and I used to be gym members before we had children, but I stopped my gym membership when I got pregnant for the first time and pretty much never looked back. And we've built our own home gym, you could say. We've got free weights and bands and kettlebells and yoga kit, a pull-up bar, and even last year we invested in this really super treadmill, which has just been amazing. But anyway, everything I need is right here in the comfort of our home. But a new gym just opened up nearby, and they have an incredible opening offer for the first year, and it's so close that it would be easy to go to. And of course, now I find myself going backwards and forwards in my mind. Should I just stick with what I have because it works and it's super flexible? Should I, join and invest in the gym because it would push me and take my fitness to another level, something that I'm actively working on? And should I give myself the opportunity to do something different? I love working out first thing in the morning, but how will I balance it all? Making time for meditation, yoga, the gym, while still being there for the kids, the school run, and, fulfilling my other duties and getting to work and all the things. And so the logic in my mind is loud. You can hear it, right? But when I take a step back and tune into my heart, and I simply ask myself which option brings me more energy, which one feels expansive, even if it's a little bit scary and I'm a little bit uncertain. And if I ask myself, which one will I love the most? There's something exciting about the idea of stepping into a new space, training alongside others and pushing myself differently. But I also love the freedom of stepping out of bed at 5 a.m. and training at home with pretty much zero faff and getting all the things I want to done by 7 a.m. And so I am sitting with this decision and I'm giving myself space, and I need to decide actually pretty soon. And trusting that when I choose, I'll commit fully and love my reasons, knowing that I always have the power to redecide if I want to or need to, and that's okay. Now, I think I know my decision. And if you want to find out, you will have to stay tuned. Okay, with that said, let me share two simple yet powerful practices that I personally use to make decisions with clarity and alignment and tuning in. Number one, the conscious decision making practice, my CDM. This is something I discovered and I've practiced since leaving corporate in 2018 and following my spiritual journey. And it's evolved as I've gone along, but it's pretty much solid in the way I practice it. And it has guided me through many of my life's big decisions. And so, whenever I'm faced with a big life decision, here's what I do. Number one, find a quiet space for you to go within, right? Intentionally create an environment, and it doesn't have to be for long, maybe 10-15 minutes, where you can connect with yourself, free from external noise and pressures and distractions, and really allow yourself to go within. Number two, write it down. So get clear on the decision you want to or need to make and write it down, right? So get a blank piece of paper and at the top of the page, write down the decision that you need to make, right? Number three, on that blank piece of paper, divide it in half, right? So draw a line down the middle and list both sides. And so what you're doing here is, based on the decision that you want to make, write down all the reasons for the decision and all the reasons why you love that as a decision and doing that thing. And then on the other side of your page, write down all the reasons against your decision. So all the reasons why you dislike that decision. no filtering, right? No judgment, just let it flow. And because of the environment you have created for yourself, you should be able to access, a deeper knowing and access a place of love in your heart. And actually, what I would say is, before you even get writing down, like when you're connecting with yourself, take a few deep breaths, allow yourself to land in your body, take yourself out of your head into your heart space, and then see what flows. And simply write down all the reasons for and against. And, you're looking for 5 to 10 things, perhaps on either side, to really form a good overall and, sort of a holistic picture in relation to the decision. And putting your thoughts and these reasons on paper, writing them down, takes them out of your head, giving you clarity and making it easier to trust your choice. It's not just like swimming around in your head. You actually see it for what it is on paper, which is so much easier because now you're detached from it and it's not consuming you. It's purely a reason that you have captured on paper. So once you've done that, you've wrote down your list of pros and cons, sleep on it, right? Give yourself space. Just let it go for a period of time, whatever that might be, depending on how much time you've got. Not too long. Sometimes it is just sleep on it, so just an overnight thing, and then come back to it. Or depending on if you have a bit more time, then it could be a few days. Give yourself space to let your subconscious process the reasons. The fact that you have unpacked them, the fact that you've written them down, and the fact that when you go to them, that has been released, but also is now processing outside of you, but also from you. And then number 5 is to tune in and go back and come back to your list, right? See your list with a fresh pair of eyes, with a renewed energy, and ask yourself which option feels more aligned with who I am right now. And it might even just scream out at you. This is gut instinct that we spoke about earlier. You might just look at it and it'll be like just so obvious. You'll just feel something in your body. And that's what I would invite you to tune into. Tune into your body. Look for a sensation and really pay attention to what is happening in your body. And you can ask yourself, which choice brings me energy, and do it in the moment. Look at the left hand side, look at the right hand side, look at the for, look at the against. Which one brings you energy? Which one makes you feel expansive? And you'll feel it in your body. It's almost like, for me, my chest opens up and there is sort of a bit of a spark and a bit of excitement, albeit a little bit scary and nervousness. But there's definite expansion in my body, and maybe even a smile on my face and a little sort of lightness, versus this like tight feeling in my gut, and this just like, oh my God, no way, like that, just no. And like, you've got to pay attention to it because it's happening, and that is your guide. And so notice, right? Tune into your body and notice what's happening, and tune into your heart, right? We spoke about this, like, what's the whisper? And it will tell you, right? It's speaking to us all the time, but we have to create a space to truly listen. And the answer that feels right, not just logical, but intuitively right for you, where you are with what you know and what you're about and what you stand for, just reveals itself. It becomes crystal clear. And I promise you it's there. And if it isn't, just notice that you're probably in your head, right? And that's okay. That's happened to me before, for sure. It's like, like I can do this. And then suddenly it's like I'm still spinning, right? I'm still in the shoulds. And that, as I say, that's okay. But just give yourself space, like go away and come back, or capture some more reasons if there's some new things now that you know and is part of the bigger picture of what you're contemplating, and that's fine. But when you're tuned into your body and your heart, you just get to trust what comes up if you're truly listening. And so once you decide from that inner wisdom and that inner knowing, once you decide, I would invite you to not waste any more time or energy second guessing or rethinking or reanalyzing, because this is what our brain will want to do. It wants to talk us out of it pretty much. The minute you make the decision from your heart and body, your brain will want to talk you out of it and give you all the fear thoughts again, which it will do. It's just what it's programmed to do, to keep us safe and protected and small and, not too scary things, open to criticism, risk and failure and discomfort and hardship, right? But instead, once you decide, right, let me invite you to love your reasons for making that choice, right? All the things you wrote down on the list, love your reasons for making that choice. Commit to it fully and just get into action. Take your next step towards making that decision real. Because when you stand behind your decision, you create momentum and confidence and trust in yourself. And you start taking action to reaffirm your decision. So it's almost like the decision then becomes even more solid. So you love your reasons, you take action. And you love your reasons, you keep taking action, your decision becomes even more solid. And so, you're just in this forward momentum towards something that fuels you. And it's worth saying that just remember that life isn't about making perfect decisions. I don't even know what that is. I certainly haven't experienced it. And it isn't about making the right decisions. I haven't even experienced that, I don't think. It's about making decisions that are right for us, that are right for you in the moment, with what you know and how you feel, with where you are and who you are. And from that, making that decision comes learning and growth, no matter what. And the worst thing, and the thing that zaps our energy, is indecision, right? Not deciding and spinning about deciding. And I'm pretty sure if you're anything like me, you have experienced this. It is a thing. And I almost describe it, I almost see it as a wash spin cycle, where you just constantly see the washing machine spinning round and round and round and round. It's just like being on this constant spin cycle of indecision and, overthinking and overanalysing and procrastinating, and then just staying in that cycle, versus just make the decision, love your reasons and take action from that place. And if you need to, as I say, then you get to redecide because you find out new information or something changes, or, you feel a different shift in your body, and that's all good, like totally fine. We always get to redecide, and, every day is a new day. The second practice that I like to use is the body check-in for everyday choices and decisions. And this is for the more kind of smaller day-to-day choices And I love using this simple body check-in. Here's how it works. First, you bring to mind the decision or choice that you're contemplating. Then take a deep breath and allow yourself to kind of land in your body and place your hand on your heart or your belly, whatever feels right for you in the moment. And then consider your options one by one and notice how your body responds with each option. Does it feel light, open, and energizing, or heavy, tight, and draining? Like, really pay attention to the way your body responds when you are thinking about the option for in order to make the decision. So, for example, let's say you planned to meet some friends for a meal out. And when you first made the plan, you were super excited and really looking forward to it. And you'd made all the arrangements. But the day comes, and in that moment, on that day, after a rough night's sleep and a long, exhausting day, you're torn. Like, what do? Option one, you go anyway, digging deep to keep your energy up. Put your hand on your heart. How does that feel? Right, just pay attention and notice. Option two might be that you suggest meeting just for a quick drink instead of the full meal. And again, hand on heart, hand on belly, whatever feels right for you. And how does that feel? And then option three might be you're honest and you suggest rescheduling and meeting up another time. And again, hand on heart, hand on belly, how does that feel? And that is the practice. Just notice how your body feels, right? Check in with your body in the moment. And your body will always give you signals. And when you listen, you'll know what feels most aligned for you in that moment. And, as I say, I've practiced this time and time again and continue to use it. And genuinely, it is so clear and obvious what the right move is for me, without paying attention to all the noise in my head. And once you decide from a place of checking in with your heart and your body, the key is to love your reasons for it without guilt or judgment or second guessing. Just simply loving the reasons for making that decision and honoring and trusting yourself and the wisdom within. And this simple practice, as I say, is my go-to for daily choices. It builds self-trust, it strengthens intuition, and makes decision-making feel effortless, but way more intentional. So for smaller decisions and choices, give that a go too. So, what's a decision you've been stuck on lately, or something that you've been contemplating? Let me invite you to try this practice and let me know how things shift for you. And if you need some help making the decision, then reach out to me. I'd be happy to support you. You can email me support@namishapatelowen.com or message me via the socials, and let me know what you would like help with. And also look out for next week's episode where I'll be sharing a decision-making meditation to help you actively tune into the wisdom of your body and heart to guide you in a decision that you're making. So be sure to tune in to that. As we wrap up, I love this quote from Lao Tzu, who says, "At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are and you know what you want." So thank yourself for being here and giving yourself this gift to tune into another episode of Live Your True Self podcast. Until next week, keep shining your light and may you always live your true self. Namaste. Thank you for listening to another episode of Live Your True Self podcast. If you want to find out more about my work and how I can support you on your growth journey, come visit me at www.namishapatelowen.com and be sure to sign up for my weekly email, A Little Love Note, just for you to receive more growth and mindset insights. And you can also join my free community, Mindset and Yoga with Namisha, to continue serving you on your personal growth journey. Bye for now.